Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Paradisos, where if you change your thoughts, you can change the world. That is right. That is right. I'm Dennis. For those of you who don't know, who are joining for the first time, and today we have a special guest. We have Heaven Pillar with us, and he's going to talk with us a little bit about trading, and what better way to introduce Trading Thursdays, our new series that we're introducing here in Paradisos, than a trading expert's mentor. Sick shirt, by the way. It's a sick
Oh
shirt.
yeah, repping, always repping.
All right, so yeah, guys, be ready. We're gonna talk a lot about trading, and hope you guys enjoy. Let's jump right in. Tell us what first got you interested in the market.
Of course, as a young guy, you kind of get interested through social media, like a lot of other people do. You kind of get attracted by this whole, hey, look at me, I can make $100,000 in my pajamas,
Right.
by 10 a.m.
Right.
So of course, right away as a naive young kid, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta figure out how to do this because that'd be awesome,
Right.
and I can just live my life like that. So that's pretty much how I got into it the first time. And then of course, realizing over some time that that was not the way to go, but eventually finding a community like trading experts that really changed my vision completely and got me really interested in it. And it's way more than just making money, but understanding the markets, understanding yourself, and getting better every day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Obviously. Can you remember your first trade, and if so, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Oh man, it was every dumb money move you can make, and we talk about dumb money all the time in our training, and that's what really got me hooked. Is that I made every single mistake that they wrote out in the programs.
Right.
I bought this penny stock. It was I bought a bunch of them, but I think the first one ever was like dry ship at DRYS, and I bought it for like $1.90. I bought like a couple hundred shares. I was like, cool, I'll make a bunch of money on this, and then
Yeah.
just keep doing that. And I lost it pretty quick. Don't really like remembering it, so that's about as much as I remember from it. But yeah, no, it was not pretty.
So what did you learn from it?
At the time, all I learned was, the market's not fair, and I was blaming other people. But, over time now I've learned that, first of all, don't trade garbage penny stocks. Do a lot of learning before you even try to start earning. And, stick to the big names, stick to the expensive ones because those tend to get more expensive.
Yeah, definitely don't chase the Wolf of Wall Street stigma out there.
Yeah, exactly.
So when and how did you come across trading experts?
I came across trading experts. It was like end of 2016 through social media. I had actually Ben had reached out to me because I was kind of commenting on some of the stuff that he was doing, and he just kind of invited me to join. And then I just started going through the training and stuff, and the rest is history.
Nice. What has your experience been like?
Oh, it's been amazing. It has its ups and downs, just like anything else. But it's really shown me that as long as I stick to it, I'm gonna reach out. I'm gonna get out on top in the end. It's a great experience. It's really changed my life. I read a lot more. I'm a lot more self-aware. I'm a lot more patient with people in general. And it's a great way of life, and it's an awesome community to be in.
So Ben, and I'm sure you can, agree. Ben is sort of like he doesn't like let up on people easily. Like he's always like trying to push people, and it's always trying like, and any little like sorrow or like BS is like, yo, get out of here. Like
Yeah.
what has that taught you while being an acquaintance of him and being in trading experts?
Oh, he's always pushed me, and in the beginning, I love Ben. He's like an Uncle Ben to me now, but in the beginning, I kind of didn't really like him. He was kind of just an ass
Yeah.
to like everybody, and I didn't really understand why. But I definitely understand now, and one thing that I learned from him is like, if you care enough, you'll find a way, and if you don't, you'll find excuses. And it's true. I was making a lot of excuses in the beginning, and after I finally got through it, I realized it, and I was like, wow, this guy was right. And now I'm the one who's, as a mentor, I got to be the ass to most people, and I
Right.
got to tell them, like, you can either make excuses or you can make the time. And some people hate it, some people like it, but at the end of the day, I know it's the right way to go, you know.
So why, in your opinion, why do you think that some people make excuses in life, whether it be in trading, in trading experts program or in general?
I mean, we're all raised like that. It's normal. There's always it's I think it's the whole way that people are raised these days. Everybody gets a second, third place trophy, and you never really have to push yourself because there's always the, oh, it's okay, and that builds this little voice in your head that tells you certain things are okay when really they're not. And you start to form excuses with things that, like, if you fought that voice and you just told it to shut up once in a while, you could really achieve a lot more than you think.
It sucks because, and I spoke to many people about it, it's just having that mentality of it's okay to have an excuse just keeps you from striving and succeeding
Yeah.
to, God knows what can be possible for you, right?
Right. Yeah. I
So
mean, people are afraid of getting out of their comfort zone, but what they don't realize is you really have nothing to lose, because if you haven't done anything, the worst thing that can happen is you go right back to where you were,
right.
and the best thing that can happen is it completely changes your life. So
And you learn from it either way.
exactly.
So, do you have any funny stories with Ben, not trade related?
Oh man, so Ben lives upstate and I live down in South Florida, so we don't get together very often. But when we do, it's always a really good time. So we've met a couple times. He actually came down here, and then we went to the Bahamas with a group of traders. Um, we ended up on a, like, I can't even call it a boat, but it was like this little raft with like a tiny little motor on the back, with this guy who was our quote unquote captain,
Yeah.
was probably on some kind of crack while we were on it. This guy was just crazy, and he like took us out to the ocean to go see this sunken ship. And I mean, the whole time I just had like fear in my eyes. I was like, oh my god, man, we're gonna die here.
What have you
This
gotten
is
me
crazy.
into?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I was like, what did you get me into? And Ben's like, well, shit happens. But we made it out alive. But it was definitely a funny memory that I'll keep forever. That's for sure.
Nice, nice. What about with Shake? Any funny stories with Shake?
Yeah, I mean, Shake is great too. We actually just met for the first time in person a couple weeks back. He came down to Miami. He was out on a boat with a couple friends. I met up with him, and we went out that night and stuff like that. I took him around town, I guess, and got him to experience some good late night 3 a.m. food after some drinks. So that's always fun in Miami. But he's cool. We clicked very well. We definitely have a lot of funny stuff going on in the chats. That's where most of the fun happens. But I'm definitely looking forward to going on another trip with both of them and making some more memories soon.
Nice, nice. All right. So, a little bit back to trading. So, what was some
Yeah.
of your fears when you first started trading?
Um, when I first started trading, like the garbage stuff, I mean, my biggest fear was just kind of losing money, I guess. Obviously I didn't want to lose money, which I was doing a lot of. So I guess I was quote unquote facing my fears that way. But when I started really learning how to trade, I guess my biggest fear was not being able to prove certain people wrong, because you start telling people like, hey, I'm starting to trade, I'm starting to do this stuff, and it's kind of working. I'm starting to get the ball rolling, and people are like, oh, don't even do that stuff, it's such a waste of time, you're not going to get
The
the return
market
you
is a
want.
sham.
Yeah, the house always wins.
Yeah.
But the problem is that I'm not playing poker, I'm trading stocks. It's a different game. So that was, I guess, my greatest fear when I first started trading correctly.
So, how did you overcome that?
By proving them wrong. It's still a journey for me. I'm nowhere near where I want to be. But like I said earlier, I know I'm on the right path, and I know that if I keep pushing myself, I'm gonna get there. Now, instead of people saying, why are you doing that? It's more of, how'd you do that? What are you doing? Do you have any tips for me? All these things. And I say, well, yeah, you have to learn a shit ton. It's not easy. It doesn't come next day like that. But if you put in the work, you'll get there, and you face your fears.
Nice, nice. Do you have any fears now, more or less?
Yeah, I mean, I think that fears never really go away. They just, you get used to them, and you know how to deal with them. you know. For me, a fear now, I mean, there's nothing really that I can't handle that I'm scared of. You know, I know that when I'm losing money, I need to get out in certain things. When I'm making money, I'm doing well. And then sometimes you just need to take a step back, and that kind of just eliminates the fear. But there's always that anguish. It's not really fear, but you get kind of anxious and anguish, and that's it though. I'm not really scared of anything when it comes to trading.
Awesome, awesome. Were you more greedy in the beginning, or were you more patient?
Oh, absolutely greedy. I mean, for me, it was just like I would basically take a trade and I would just stay in it until I started losing money. So like I'd be up $100. I'm like, oh, so I'm just gonna keep holding it.
Why
It's
not,
gonna keep,
right?
and then it always comes back down. So I was definitely greedy when it came to that. Um, and patience came much later. Yeah.
So what helped you to be more patient with your winners?
Being more patient with my winners. I mean, of course, one of the things we learn in our training is learning how to use your trailing stops. And basically, if you don't know what that is when the stock that you're in starts to go up, you just kind of start placing your stop loss up as well. You start kind of chasing it, so that what this does is it'll protect you from going back to zero like I used to do.
Right.
But at the same time, it gives the stock room to just do what it needs to do. So I don't even have to worry about it. I let it do what it needs to do. I can be patient with it. If it stops me out, it stops me out. I make some profit. If it keeps going, it keeps going, and I make more profit.
Nice. So, what was one of your best trades, and did you learn any lessons from it?
Ooh, yes. So last year, I took this trade NovaCure, NVCR. I bought it around like $20 and I sold it for like over 100%, 107%, 6 months later. And it wasn't even the percentage that was great, which was definitely awesome, but it was it was just such an easy trade to take. It was just such a textbook play. I had been learning this, I had been studying it, and like it finally just popped up. It was all the criteria that I was looking for, and I just let it ride. I just didn't have to even worry about it. And those are the best kind of trades, because the point of trading isn't to have a second job and have to babysit your stocks every
Right.
2 seconds.
Right.
The best ones are ones that you can invest in. You go do your thing, you come back, and a couple months later you made some good money on it. And those are the best trades. I would take one of those over 10 smaller ones where I have to babysit it all day, every time. Shake was actually on that one with me. He ended up selling it for a little bit more. That's why he's the pro and I'm not. But yeah, it was a fun ride. I hope to beat that 107% this year.
Nice. And I think it's a testament to the benefits of taking the time and learning, because someone who didn't have the knowledge and sat down and did the research and learned and read all they could wouldn't have known to hold it for 6 months. Along with not being patient, it's people not having the knowledge to know that that was a textbook trade. Let it ride out. It's gonna ride out.
Right.
So what was your worst trade, and do you have did you learn any lessons from that?
Yeah, I mean, before I started with Trading Experts, there was this one trade. It was SAEX, another garbage, penny stock kind of thing. And again, just dumb money to the max. I just saw this thing popping off, and like I see people online on Stock Twitch just like saying like, "Oh, SAEX, it's going like buy now, buy now." It's like at $10, then all of a sudden it's at $30. I think I bought around like 40, 45, something like that. And stocks like that, when they move that fast, they end up getting halted for a couple minutes. So basically, the action completely stops. And I decided to just buy, put buy orders at that point. I was like, oh, it's going to shoot up even more. And I was right, except I did not have enough time to sell it. And it just, as soon as it came up, and then I just saw all my money disappear. I was trading on margin, so I ended up almost being negative. I almost had to owe money to my broker. Luckily, I got out at that point, but that one wiped me out, and I was just sitting there for like an hour staring at my screen, looking at my $0 in my account. And I was like, shit, it didn't feel good. It wasn't a lot of money, I was playing with like $2,000, but it was a lot at that moment, and looking back, I laugh at it. But at the moment, it was like the worst day of my life.
So people hearing that sort of like can turn them off to the fact of, trading with real money in the live market. When it comes to paper trading, it's all training. It's all, fake money. If you lose it, who cares? It's fake. So how did you overcome, or how did you move past that? Dang, I just lost all my money in my margin account. What advice would you give to people to overcome that sort of loss?
Well, I mean, my advice, first of all, first and foremost, is you really want to learn before you even start trading. Like, you shouldn't even touch a key. You shouldn't even put money into a brokerage before you start learning about this stuff. And there's a lot of information out there. So, find the right people that can actually teach you the right things, learn from their mistakes so that you don't have to make the same ones like I did, and go from there. But you will have losses, but if you learn correctly, you're not going to wipe your account. It's just not going to happen. If you train with trading experts, you're not going to blow up your account. We're not going to let it happen, because that's just not the way that we do things. There's no way with our methods that you could blow up your entire account. So we're very risk averse. It's all about risk management. But let's say, okay, somebody didn't listen to what we had to say and they blew up their account. Just take a step back. Don't try to revenge trade. That's for sure. Because you end up digging a deeper hole, right, and that really sucks. I know a couple people who have done that, and it's just not the way to go. So if you wipe your account, understand that you need to go learn. Like, don't play again.
So Ben mentioned, and just to wrap up here, Ben mentioned he saw how your trading really started to improve after you started mentoring new traders. Did you notice the same?
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely did change my game a little bit, because now it's not only me holding myself accountable. I can't just be telling people what to do and then not following my rules. So I have to be a good example. I have to be there for people, and I want to be there for people. That's the thing, is like, it's a fun experience for me, because I've always been good at teaching things and just explaining things in simple terms. I get a lot of people that come in who don't even know what a market order is. They come in, and just a couple months later, going through our training, it's crazy how you see them develop into these people who have full written out game plans, who are executing trades, making nice 4 or 5% weeks, even more sometimes. And it's a really good feeling to see that people are completely changing their lives, because this is a profession that they'll keep with them forever, whether they're with us or not. It's something that they've learned. It's something that they become interested in. And that's very fulfilling for me.
And how reassuring is it to you to see that, the knowledge that was passed on to you, you can now pass on to others. And then, like you said, people implementing it and following, your methods that were taught to you.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it's just proof that it works too. It's like, sometimes you get people that are a little skeptical. They're like, how do I know this works? And I'm like, well, there's about 400 people that are in our group who are doing it, and it works, and I don't think they would be investing their time in it if it didn't. So that's an amazing thing. And now I even start seeing people that I've taught who are teaching others, and that's so cool as well. It's building a much stronger relationship for all of us, and a much stronger community.
So one last thing, what sort of motto or rule do you sort of live by when it comes to trading, that you can sort of, let everybody know that they should live by that motto?
That's a good question. I would say,
or not necessarily a motto, maybe just like an idea.
Right. I would just say live to trade another day, especially as swing traders like we are. I see a lot of the new guys, they get kind of too focused on what's happening today, like, oh, I'm down 1%, or, oh, I lost on this trade. It's like, you really can't look at it that way, because you're not trying to make money for tomorrow. You're trying to make money for the rest of your life. So if you actually just take a step back, the next 5-10 years, that little 1% loss on one day, that losing trade one day, isn't going to affect you that bad. Even my $2,000 loss a couple of years ago, it's a little bump in the road compared to what I thought was a mountain 2 years ago. But now it's just a little bump. So focus on the big picture, and, just live to trade another day.
Awesome, awesome. I mean, perfect way to end this amazing episode. Like I said, it was gonna be short, but I mean,
Short
dang,
and sweet.
short and sweet. Even I learned a whole bunch. Heaven, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you coming on and starting trading Thursdays for Paradisos. I'm very excited for this series. My wife and I are gonna be going to Miami this summer. Maybe we can do a part
Nice.
two. Maybe we can do a part
Yeah,
two
man.
episode.
We
I'm
can do a
sure.
live. Yeah, we can do a live episode. That'd be a lot of fun. That'd be really cool.
Awesome, awesome. I'm sure everyone who listened today would really like that. Thanks again, man. Guys, I hope you guys understand the what's coming for Trading Thursdays. A lot more to come. Thank you guys for everyone who tuned in and listened to Heaven and I speak about trading and his ups and downs and how he overcame it. Don't forget to check us out www.paradisos.world on Instagram Paradisos Podcast and on Twitter Paradisos 101. And until next time, God bless you all, my beautiful people.